Hey guys, what's up? Harrison Graham here from Chat Sports with today's edition of NBA Now. Lots of news and some rumors to get into, especially the mess going on out west with the Los Angeles Lakers. But we have a little bit of breaking news to get into first, as Warriors forward Kevin Durant has been ruled out for the remainder of the series against the Houston Rockets. He left Game 5, of course, with that right calf strain. NBA Twitter exploded because everybody thought it was going to be an Achilles injury. Luckily, that is not the case, but he will be out for the remainder of this series. Is set to be reevaluated next week, so the Golden State Warriors are going to have to get by without him. Again, they have a 3-2 series lead on the Houston Rockets, so they're going to have to figure out a way to win one out of the final 2 games. You look at what Durant's done this postseason, just unbelievable numbers. Over 34 points per game, grabbing 5 rebounds, dishing out 5 assists, shooting almost 42% from three-point range. Klay Thompson, Steph Curry have not been great in this postseason. A side note, though, the Warriors are 29-4 when Durant misses games and Curry plays. So this is not unfamiliar territory with Golden State, but the postseason is a different animal, so we will see how that goes. The updated odds to win the NBA title after this Durant news. Warriors still the favorite, but they've lowered their odds to plus 100. Bucks have moved up to plus 280. The Houston Rockets are at plus 420, and the Raptors coming in at plus 650 as they are just a game away from closing out the Philadelphia 76ers. Nuggets, Sixers, Blazers coming in at long distance odds. So obviously Golden State still the favorite. Milwaukee sneaking up though, so we will see. If Golden State gets past this series, I would still consider them the favorites because Durant will likely be able to come back in the next round, but we will see. So how does this injury impact free agency this summer? Well, we'll wait and see. If it is the last game Durant has played for Golden State, if they are eliminated by the Houston Rockets, it could be interesting. Obviously, he's the top free agent this summer. He's injured with that calf strain right now. He's been linked to the Knicks for a long time now. The big rumor for the last couple of months is Durant and Kyrie Irving are going to team up in the Big Apple. Here are my recommendations and top destinations for Kevin Durant. I still think Golden State is where he should stay and play long term. If you want your legacy to be winning championships, you stay in Golden State and you keep this dynasty going with Curry and the boys. I actually think the Nets are a better option than the Knicks. They have a nice young roster. D'Angelo Russell's coming into his own. They have a ton of cap space. They could add Durant plus another player. I think that's interesting. I think the appeal for the Knicks is if you're the guy that gets them back to a championship and brings home the Larry O'Brien trophy, that's certainly appealing. Clippers, Celtics, some distant options there. I think those top 3 are the ones to keep an eye on. So I'll ask you guys, where should Kevin Durant sign this summer? Type W for Warriors, type N for Nets, type K for Knicks. Look, if it's me, stay in Golden State, dude. Like, you've got a good thing going. Golden State, if you stay there, is going to be a force for years to come. But Nets and Knicks, also options there as well. Feel free to comment below in the YouTube comments section. All right, let's shift gears to the disaster that is the Los Angeles Lakers. So, Ty Lue, he became the focal point of this coaching search when Monty Williams decided to take the Phoenix job. Well, the Lakers offered Lue a 3-year, $18 million contract. Lue wanted a 5-year deal, pointed to championship pedigree, of course, led the Cavs and LeBron to a title just a few years ago. The Lakers weren't going to let him bring in their own staff. They wanted Jason Kidd to be a part of his assistant coaching staff. Lue wanted complete control of the staff. Jeannie Buss, Rob Pelinka clearly were not on board with that. Another thing, too, a big rumor going around, Buss and Pelinka, the Lakers brass, they don't want LeBron to have all the power, and they feel like if you bring in Tyronn Lue, that is giving LeBron exactly what he wants. You look at the last 5 seasons for the Lakers, this mess just continues to grow. 21-61, 17-65, 26-56. Made some progress last year with 35 wins with that young core. Thought this year was the year they were going to take off with LeBron coming on board. End up going 37-45, things falling apart after the LeBron injury against the Warriors. So it's been kind of a mess for the Lakers the last 5 years, and obviously now with Ty Lue and not agreeing to terms with Los Angeles, that's where they shift gears moving forward. But let's look at the timeline of this train wreck, okay? LeBron injured against the Warriors on Christmas Day. At the time, the Lakers were starting to play well. They were 4th in the Western Conference, sitting at 20-14. Then they couldn't complete the trade for Anthony Davis, kind of rubbed the young guys the wrong way. You have LeBron James sitting on the end of the bench during games, not near Brandon Ingram and those guys. Bad optics. Lakers stumble down the stretch, 17-31 after that initial injury for LeBron, of course. Didn't play the last several games as the Lakers were out of the mix. More things, you get into the offseason. So if the season wasn't bad enough, right? April 10th, Magic Johnson resigns out of nowhere. Okay. How about 2 days later? They decide to part ways with Luke Walton. So you don't have a team president, you don't have a head coach. We're almost a month later, still don't have a head coach. They thought they had Monty Williams in their sights. He decides to take the Phoenix Suns job. He doesn't even wait for the Lakers to make him a final offer. He says, screw it, I'm going to Phoenix, to one of the most dysfunctional franchises in all sports, over the Lakers. That's a train wreck right now for the Los Angeles Lakers. You look at where they move forward now. Who are the target guys? Well, Shams Charania is reporting that Lionel Hollins, Frank Vogel, and Mike Woodson, in addition to Juwan Howard and Jason Kidd, who were already options for the Lakers, that's where they are now. You go from being in the mix in December as a contender in the West to 4 or 5 months later, Lionel Hollins, Frank Vogel, Mike Woodson, these are some guys the Lakers are targeting to be their next head coach. It's a mess. All right, folks, today's show is brought to you by BetDSI. Use that promo code LIVE120 to get a 120% bonus on any bets. You can bet on the NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs, all kinds of stuff. You put down $100, you're going to get $120 for free. Go to BetDSI at chatsports.com/bet to make some money today. All right, let's get back on track. So, coaching resume for these 5 targets for the next Lakers head coach. Lionel Hollins. Again, reported he is on their coaching search among some other candidates. You look at his track record, NBA record, kind of a 500 type coach, 262 and 272, has 4 playoff appearances, had a nice run with the Grizzlies. Did take Memphis to its only ever conference finals back in 2013. That part of that grit and grind group was Tony Allen, Marc Gasol, Mike Conley, those guys when they had a good stretch. He was their head coach back then. They had a few playoff runs. So you look at him overall, I think he deserves an opportunity to be a head coach again in the NBA, but you don't get fired by the Grizzlies, fired by the Nets, and then become a focal point of the Lakers search. That's quite a reach. So I don't think Lionel Hollins is someone you should be looking at if you're the Lakers. How about Frank Vogel? He had some good success in Indiana. He's on the Lakers coaching search. He's actually interviewing with Los Angeles later today, so he might be the leading candidate as of now. Some good success in the NBA, above 500 record, 5 playoff appearances. It didn't work in Orlando. They were lottery teams both years he was there. They let him go. Took the Pacers to the brink of the NBA Finals twice. Don't forget, Paul George, Lance Stevenson, he was guiding that ship when they almost took down the Miami Heat in 2013 and 2014. So Vogel's had success in this league. I'm not sure about the fit with him and LeBron James. He's kind of a hard ass. LeBron wants someone that he can control. I'm not sure how that fit works. I do think Vogel's a decent candidate. I would prefer him over Hollins if I'm the Lakers. Don't think it's a great fit, though, with LeBron James. All right, how about Mike Woodson, former Knicks head coach, former Hawks head coach? Similar to these other guys, decent amount of success. You see the record there, 50 games below 500. 5 playoff appearances, had some decent teams with the Hawks, has never made a conference finals. Did head coach that one good Knicks team with Carmelo Anthony, Stoudemire, and those boys back in 2012. Was an assistant under Doc Rivers in LA from 2014 to 2018. Wasn't in the league this past year. Guys, Mike Woodson to the Lakers? No. To me, this is a high-level assistant on a contending team or a head coach on a team that's not ready to contend. This is not a guy you bring in and say, hey, go win us 50 games, get us in the playoff hunt. That is not who Mike Woodson is. So I don't like this idea. I think this would be a bad option for the Lakers. Last 2 guys here, you got Jason Kidd, already interviewed with the Lakers again. They wanted Kidd to be an assistant under Tyronn Lue. Lue said no, so maybe Kidd is back in the mix to be their head coach. Did some decent things with the Bucks, but you look at how they've taken off since he left, you wonder if he underachieved there a little bit. You could argue that he helped Giannis and some of those young guys develop 3 playoff appearances in his career. But again, you know, I think Kidd deserves to be a head coach somewhere. But for the Lakers, I mean, he would love the opportunity to coach LeBron James, even said as much. I like this option better than Mike Woodson. Not crazy about the option in general. Then you've got Juwan Howard, who is highly thought of in NBA circles. He's going to be a future head coach in this league, has been an assistant under Eric Spoelstra, one of the highly thought of coaches in the NBA since 2013. Of course, there's the player connection with LeBron. They played together when LeBron was in Miami, so there's that connection. I'm not sure that's enough to make that leap to be the Heat's assistant coach to being the Lakers head man, but maybe they feel differently. Maybe he gets a second interview and they look at that option. Again, here are the current Lakers coaching targets: Lionel Hollins, Frank Vogel, Mike Woodson, Juwan Howard, Jason Kidd. That's where we are. This is the Lakers. This is not the Phoenix Suns. These are the options for the Lakers, so it's kind of dark times right now in LA. I want to ask you guys, you've seen the current targets. Is there another name out there? Who do you want the next Lakers head coach to be? Do you want it to be one of these guys? Do you want them to beg Ty Lue to reconsider? Do you want them to go into the college ranks, you know, a Tom Izzo, somebody? Can they get anybody else? Who do you want it to be? Feel free to comment below in the YouTube comments section. All right, more Lakers drama. Fans protesting? Yeah, you better believe it. They're staging a protest for tomorrow outside of Staples Center. Clearly, the fans are upset with how the current coaching search is going, the front office mess. I don't think Rob Pelinka is qualified to be the president of basketball operations for the Los Angeles Lakers. This thing has fallen apart quickly, as we outlined earlier in the video. So that's where we are right now. Below average coaching targets and fans protesting in the offseason. Okay, Lakers, good job. You're clearly running your organization the right way. Let's shift gears to other stories, all right? Kyrie Irving. Celtics were eliminated last night by the Milwaukee Bucks in 5 games, weren't very competitive after winning in Game 1. Let's be honest, the Celtics underachieved this year. Irving's entering free agency this summer, been linked to the Knicks, the Nets perhaps. Kyrie wasn't always engaged this year, was not pleasant to talk to in the interviews after games and stuff, didn't seem interested a lot of the time. You look at his numbers from this year, pretty good season, 24 points, 5 rebounds, career high, 6.9 assists, shot over 40% from 3. Kyrie was fine, disappeared in this playoff series though, shot well below 40% the final 2 games, or 3 games I believe, against the Bucks. To me, Kyrie has always been a Robin. If he's your number 2 guy, you're in really good shape. He's proven, though, if he's the top dog, you can't go very far with him. Before LeBron got to Cleveland, the Cavaliers were not a factor with Kyrie as the top dog. Boston, they were supposed to win the East this year, get just ripped in the second round by the Milwaukee Bucks. You look at some of the free agent odds for Kyrie Irving, this is where it's at right now, and this is actually very interesting, okay? Brooklyn Nets leading the pack right now, a little surprising at plus 250 odds. Obviously, you got the Knicks there who've been linked to Irving for a while. It's still got the Celtics at plus 350. Lakers, Clippers, more distant odds at plus 750 and plus 1,000. Here's my proposal for both the Celtics and Kyrie. From Boston's end, pitch Kyrie that we're going to trade for Anthony Davis. Say, hey, we know we need some more star power. Tatum, Jaylen Brown, those guys aren't progressing quite how we want to. You need some help. We're going to go get Anthony Davis to pair with you. We'll sign you to a max deal. Stay here. You guys can be the faces of the franchise for the next 5+ years. AD and Kyrie, Batman and Robin, co-stars, however you want to put it. You guys are going to be the focal point moving forward. That would be my proposal for both Boston and Kyrie. But I'll ask you guys, where should Kyrie Irving sign this summer? I think he should stay in Boston. Should he go to the Knicks? Should he team up with KD somewhere, whether it's there or Brooklyn? Should he go rejoin LeBron out west in Los Angeles? Comment below in the YouTube comment section.